All right, so let's focus on what is momentum. How do you define a momentum day trading strategy? It's very simple. We are not trying to predict where the market is going to go. We are looking for key areas where the market would accelerate or break out, break down based off the price action, and also key things that we're looking on the chart, right? So we got our pivot points, our little orange line down here. We know there's support down here. We bounced multiple times. We can see the market is what? Moving in waves. You guys already know the market moves in waves. So if there is a wave forming and the market's starting to push back up, what does that mean when it starts to push back up? Well, that's momentum, right? There's momentum building, it's building, it's building, and it's pushing, right? So very similar to this. I love this setup as a perfect example of this setup. The obvious momentum is pushing down, right? The trend is down. Momentum is moving down. We're starting to accelerate. You can see through here, we accelerate. We get down here to a support level where the price has been at before multiple times. We see there 830. The overnight, we're looking back, we see all those levels. So we know there's a good chance that if we get down to this spot that we get a bounce. We get a bounce from here. And now we want to identify the possible reversal. But the great thing about this strategy with day trading momentum in general is spotting a reversal is very kind of simple in the sense of what we want to see happen. Right now we're looking at the 2-minute chart and let's point this out. Let's just kind of play this out the way that I would play it out when it comes to making a trade based on momentum. Okay, so the market obviously is moving down. We start to bounce, we start to push. Obviously the market, moves in waves. What do we have coming up right here? Right, we got the VWAP, that little blue line. We see that the VWAP acts as resistance, then we push through it. Again, what is happening, right? Momentum, it's pushing, it's trying to go, trying to go higher here. We can see momentum is shifting. So the momentum was pointing down for that little pullback here, and now momentum is starting to push back up. You can always kind of look at it, the waves. What do we got? We got a wave. All right, well, this makes sense, okay? The wave is forming, it's starting to go faster, it's starting to peak up higher. You can see all the waveforms and that kind of almost like perfect V bottom there. But again, momentum. What do we see? The VWAP acting as resistance. We push through that level. So now what I want to see happen is, got 2 ways to really play this. This is the 2-minute chart. You can go to the 1-minute chart here, get a little bit better. We want to see a little bull flag. And when I say a bull flag, we basically want to see price consolidating in a bullish manner, meaning it's holding that level. It's kind of pulling back here. It's going a little bit of you see like it's like going sideways, right? The momentum's kind of like pushing up here quickly, getting a little too ahead of itself. Then we turn the VWAP into support. And at this point, I'm looking to buy this momentum if it starts to break to the upside. Where would I be looking to enter? The momentum. How do I know there's momentum here? Well, we see the market's kind of stalling out. Not really going anywhere. We know that if we start to push above this 91 level, there's a very good chance that momentum comes back in and we start to push. And look what happens, right? We get the breakout. The momentum is pushing us up. And look at how much more we start to push here. There's a lot more momentum through this move because guess what? We basically invalidated this downward trend by getting back above the VWAP right there. Guys, the trend is your friend. Really, think about it. If the market is pushing back up, why would you try to force a trade to pick the top? To try to short, buy, whatever you want. Looking here at the 5-minute chart. Look, big reversal, green. There's no reason to get short or try to do the opposite of what the market's doing here. If the market's pushing back up, it's getting back above the VWAP. I love this type of setup where we break back above resistance. We turn it into support. We get tight, and then we get that expansion. And guess where we go to? We're always going to go to like a previous area of resistance, being that area there, that recent high. We see there's resistance. We blow right through it, another 40 points to the upside. This is momentum trading. This is what it's all about. The best part is you don't need to trade all day long either. A lot of these trades happen between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And then after that, I'm normally done for the day. So Focusing on momentum. When the market is showing strength, we want to get long. When the market is pulling back, well, we want to get short. Same thing here. You can see, got a little bit of a double top here. Whenever I say there's a double top, double bottom, that means obviously the price has been up there before multiple times now, twice, getting stuck again. We can't get above that. So the momentum here is right now it's pushing up. But look what happens. We put in this lower high here and then we start to dump. So the momentum breaks through this upward now, and now momentum is pushing us down, right? The market is moving down, so we want to be taking trades with the trend, trades with the momentum. We're trading momentum. We're not trading levels based on what we think it's going to bounce, where it's going to go, and all of that fun stuff, right? We're not just looking at the chart and going, okay, I think it's going to go lower. I think it's going to go higher. I don't know. I think it's going to bounce. You know, that's always a really big problem for traders, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll go back here and they'll look at this previous support, right? We bounced here at this level before. So a lot of people think like, okay, if we get down there to that level, then I'm going to buy because I think it's going to go back up from there, which it ended up bouncing. It did bounce, but look what happened later on. We then broke through that level with momentum, because why? There's that support, but guess what? The market momentum is pointing down, and look at that. Would you just look at it? It looks a lot like a big old wave, kind of in that manner. A wave, it's a big wave. But again, look, the top, even on that big sell-off, we still had to kind of push back up. A lot of times when there's a big sell-off or a big pop to the upside, we get a retest, right? Where the market kind of retraces that level and then makes the push up. Perfect example again today. You know, markets selling off here, and then look, we kind of push all the way back up there to retest that. I still think even if we didn't break through the highs, there's a very good chance we kind of push back up into that level just because of that, you know, sell, and then it's like push back up, test the VWAP. But once we get back above the VWAP, well, now it's like, oh, we're invalidating the idea that this is going to start to roll off here, because now the market is pushing up. Momentum. It's just about looking to see what way, you know, the trend is going, what way the market is going. If the overall market wants to go up, let it go up. If it wants to go down, don't try to buy the bottom. There's no problem sitting back, being patient, waiting. A lot of this game, a lot of this trading, especially trading, you know, anything with futures, the market in general, you just have to have a ton of patience and waiting for the momentum to come into the market again is going to be very important, because you don't want to buy just because the market is open. If the market's going sideways, there's no momentum, well, you can't really trade it then. If the market doesn't know which way it wants to go, you can't really trade it. Like right here, you know, there's a good chance that we kind of push back up here, but I don't know yet. I don't have that full confirmation yet. I don't really love this little setup here yet. So I need to see some commitment. I want to see, you know, this start to push back up, then put in that higher low. It's trying to do it right there, but I want to see more of an attempt to push back up before trying to get in there for a long. So again, just trying to be patient. You can see here on the 15-minute chart, you know, we don't love the momentum there yet. You can see it really needs to kind of get back above that last 15-minute candle, which is kind of interesting, because you can see again, earlier we broke through the VWAP, and look at all of that dip. We dipped. The momentum came in, we pushed back up off that level, and then look at this very, very bullish 15-minute candle squeezing back up. So now it's a very kind of likely idea or scenario that we kind of push back into the middle of this big candle that broke to the upside, you know, kind of our breaker candle that broke out there, that big move up. Now it's almost like I said, you know, that wave, rip, you know, the market moves in waves. So, you know, there is, it's still, I don't know why, a bad drawing, but if you're looking at the market making a move higher, what's it got to do from here? You know, it basically needs to kind of hold, kind of bottom out, and then start pushing back up. And then you get that wave, the momentum. It's real.